What's the best kind of comic you can get? Find out now.
Transformers. There's sadness in my eyes.
Digital comics or hard copy? Where do you fall? There's positives and negatives on both sides. There's on digital comics, you can you can read them in the dark. I have both. I like to buy both. I like to buy both. There's because I really like to collect stuff, but also I like to take stuff with me. You don't want to be the weirdo carrying around a comic book. That's a that's a level of nerd I really hope to never reach. But you can be the nerd that brings an iPad and reads comic books. For some reason, that isn't the same level. It's like, oh, it's on my phone. I have an app. But like pulling a comic book out of your back pocket is just like, wow. That's let's not talk to that guy. He probably smells like armpits. But there's positives and negatives on both sides. Like I love having. I don't want to say I love the smell of a comic book store because it smells like fat people sweat. But I love the smell of a comic book. A comic book is just like, it smells great. It smells great. And it's cool having something to collect, something you have, something you can just like keep. I would say you could sell later at a higher value, but we all know that's not true. Like unless you've got that rare issue, unless you collect the rare issues and like that kind of thing, that's what the hard copies are good for. But you're not really going to sit down and read those over and over. You're just going to like put it in its little sleeve and put it away, let it collect value, and then resell it. That's really what you're going to do with that. But then there's digital copies, digital comics, where you can have as many as you want on a device. You read them anywhere, anytime, and get them as soon as they come out. I've woken up to issues. You just set a subscription on like Comixology, and I wake up to an issue. It's like, oh, that's great. Like, oh, I can't wait to read that. It's freaking awesome. You get to save gas. Digital comics help the world because you don't have to drive to the comic book store. Where hard copies, you're using up trees. You need gas to go to the store. You have to deal with people. But also, digital comics, you don't feel like you really have anything. You know what I mean? Like a hard copy comic, you can just sit down and read it. I think I really fall on digital comics on this one. One of my favorite parts of reading digital comics is that each panel is blown up. Like you're reading it literally one panel at a time. Whereas hard copy comics, if your eyes aren't as good as they used to be, you kind of bring it in. You got to bring it in close. I like. I don't know. Like, there's an argument to be made either way, but I like reading comics on my iPad because you can read them in the dark. I can read them just when I'm just about to go to sleep. I can read some stuff I haven't had a chance. If I've had a busy day, I can just sit down and read it. When you've got a comic, you've got to turn the light on. You got to put your glasses on. you have to get ready. And then if you do want to collect it, you have to be careful. You can't bend the edges. You don't want to crease it too much. You don't want to like manhandle it like if you're just reading a magazine. And then, hard copy takes up space once you have a lot of them. I have 2 boxes at home that I literally can't find anywhere to put. I don't know, like I want to bring them with me. Like they're at my dad's house. I want to bring them with me, but then they're just gonna sit there and take up space. They're not gonna do anything really. They're just gonna be there. I'm not gonna go back and read through them because like I said, I enjoy collecting them. I don't want to mess them up, but they're not worth anything either. I know somewhere in there I have a Death of Superman first edition, but you know, that's only worth so much. And then I probably paid more than I'll ever get for it. And if you want it to be worth anything, you have to hold on to it until like everyone your age and probably 20 or 30 years younger than you dies. Then maybe it'll be worth something. A few $100. But before that, it's not going to be worth crap, especially that book. That book is one of the most popular books, and it also sold the most. So it is one of the least rare issues ever. That's the problem with collecting comics. Sometimes you don't know what's going to be popular. You don't really know. You'll rarely accidentally stumble on anything. But if you're a hoarder like I am, sometimes you just like to collect stuff. There's stuff I collect. I'm trying to stop collecting toys. Not because I'm trying to become an adult, but they're taking up space. You don't take them out of the package, they take up a lot of space. And you don't just want to just be like, oh, let me get these toys out of the way so you can sit down. But there's a lot of arguments to be made, but I think most of mine fall on hard copy. Hard copy is just kind of a hassle to have around if you're going to collect it. But it is kind of cool to come back, because like Avengers vs. X-Men, I've got those comics. Or the Civil War issues. I have the original Civil War Marvel event. I have those comics. I even have a couple variants. I have a couple sketch covers. They're freaking. It's awesome. Like, I have no idea how much it's worth. I can probably get like a solid like $50 for that issue. But I paid more than that. That's kind of what soured me on collecting. I paid about like $75 for it. And it was like, this will be worth something. Yeah, I should have waited a few weeks. But maybe now it's worth something that the movie came out. Yeah, doubtful. But like, yeah, that's kind of what soured me on. It was like, you're like collecting. I don't think I would ever sell them. But it's just kind of cool to know that you wish it was collecting value. Or like you thought it would, or you would like it to be, but it's not really. You just kind of enjoy having. It's kind of like having a toy collection. I'm not going to sit down and break things open and play with them. It's kind of cool to have. But that's really the only pro. Everything else, like, you're going to screw those books up somehow. But it's really, like, the smell is cool. Like, it takes me back to being a kid when I used to buy like 10 for $1 out of this dollar bin. This comic book store in my town had like this 10 for $1 bin, comic book bin. And I was buying like all the Transformer issues. Like and they used to put them all in there. I was like, this book must suck. Like, as a kid, I was like, they must not know they're putting these in here. And little did I know that nobody gave a crap about Marvel Transformer comics. I never did get the #1 though. I do want that. I want that just for my collection. But like, the collecting is cool. But other than that, digital. For me, digital wins out. Let me know what you think. Post it in the comments which way you lean on this. What do you prefer to have? I have a little bit of both, but I went through the comics I do own on my iPad, and I might have way more there. I might be leaning more towards on that one. But let me know where you fall on the issue. Thanks for watching, and as usual, peace out. Oh, if you like the video, like and share, all that jazz. You know the drill. All right, peace out.